and we move on to step 24. And I'm sad to say we open up the last of the bags, bag F. I know, I've enjoyed this so much. I don't want it to end. Hey hum, but I've come this far. I must build this beautiful machine now. So anyway, I've opened up bag F into my tray, and I've taken out a couple of the little bearings that were in there, and put again my little ZX1 oil on there so that they're ready lubricated, and I kind of organized ish a little bit the screws and bolts and things into the relevant piles, if you like, so that they're kind of somewhere near. We've got the springs and things for the front shocks. We've got the body clips and things. We've got little grub screws, a flanged head. You've got countersink ones, etc. The various pistons, the pinion gear, and the rubber O-rings and the dreaded E-clips. Oh, incidentally, by the way, those E-clips right at the very beginning that went ping across the room, I found them. Amazing. And the shock oil. This is a 100 weight shock oil. I don't know whether I might use a slightly thicker one. I might sort of go 200 or 300 weight, just a little bit thicker. That seems quite soft, but we'll see. And yeah, so here we are. So we're going to go on to step 24. It's all about suspension. And one thing I do need to mention is in bag F, you've got these little clear gaskets for the shocks. You look in this bag first of all and you go, there's nothing in them. But yeah, they are, guys. There's yeah, when you do that, you can hardly see them. So it's only when you put something behind. So don't throw away what appears to be an empty bag, because they're your gaskets for your shocks. So we've got our shocks out, we've got our gaskets out, we've got our spanner out, we've got our this part here, OT 210R part 4. We've got OT 235R part B, which is like this metal thing that goes inside there. We've got the OT 210R part 9. We've got our spanner, we've got our gaskets, and we've got our OT 238R A's and 03237R A's. The various shocks bodies, and they have the caps already in, so we're going to need to do this. So let's do this step. Okay, so let's get ourselves ready. So let's take our OT 235R part B and our OT 210R part 4, and this is our tool, our shock tool. So let's get this ready. So we need to clip this underneath, and we need to make sure the hole is lined up. And the idea is we need to make sure, so it'll only go in one way because of the shape. So it looks like it'll only go in this way, purely because of the shape. There we are. And then from underneath, the countersink screw, which is a M2.6 by 6mm countersunk screw, or flush head as they like to call it. We need to just screw that into place. Okay. Now we take our spanner, and we get, this is with the numbers facing up, we take the little OT210R part 9, and this, I believe, just pops into place. So now we have our tools ready. Let's take the, there we are, take those off. Don't run away. And then we're going to pop our gasket, which is an OT253, our shock gasket, over the top of here, so it's sealed. And let's take our little gaskets, and looks like we're going to be very careful with these little guys. They are very tiny and look like they're very delicate as well. So take one of our gaskets, and we're going to need to pop those over, and I believe that we've got to line them up so that because you've got this area where they're, if you look at them carefully, there's an area here. Yeah, line these areas up. If you line those areas up with the threads, so the threads are in this section here, you can kind of see it, and I believe that's where you need to, that's where it will just slide over. So let's just give that a line up. I think you've got to go on quite square as well. Just work it down gently. So that's a fiddly one. Just take your time to work it down and step it down. And you've got to do that 4 times. Like that. Okay, I'm going to go and do that 4 times. So hopefully you can pick that up on the camera. Ooh, that's how it's got to be. Just take your time and move it down very steadily. Okay, come back to you when I've done that. And that's the last, if you can see, that's the last of the gaskets that's around the bottom there. And just gently move that around. And you know if you've got it in the right place because it's right at the bottom and it will spin freely. And the idea is those flat areas you want to put where the flat is. So that's step 24 completed.